In the news tonight, father and two young children perish in Charleston fire.
I no feeling, I'm numb right now and now. I never got to kiss my babies and my husband not in this morning. When I left this morning, he was in the bathroom and I tell him, sir, put on Supreme lunch by the time I go come back and then I'll carry them to school when I come back. And he said, go and left in the bathroom. Nothing, they went sleeping when I left.
And protest over Dharamlala's rape allegation moves to the U.S. Embassy.
Chinese people are saying, we need to hear from you. What is your position?
A father and his two children perished in a fire in Drysdale Street, Charleston this morning. There are Michael Richards and his 6-year-old daughter, Samira, and 4-year-old son, Supreme. The three were trapped in the heavily grilled lower flat of the building when neighbors and other tenants saw the fire. His wife, Renata Richards, was not at home at the time of the fire. The distraught mother collapsed when greeted with the tragic news and had to seek medical attention. She, however, returned to the scene where she spoke with the media.
I no feeling, I'm numb right now and now. I never got to kiss my babies and my husband not in this morning. When I left this morning, he was in the bathroom and I tell him, sir, put on Supreme lunch by the time I go come back and then I'll carry them to school when I come back. And he said, go and left in the bathroom. Nothing, they went sleeping when I left. This normally don't get up with me when I get up, but they didn't get up. This man I went sleeping when I left. We're at my mother-in-law house at Dynasty. I get a phone call from the girl at the car and tell me the house on fire. Same time I start locking up and come out. Come over to see what happened at the place. They are already up in flames. So he come out to get help and nobody come out for help. And he go back in to get him. And he come back out. He's a very loving person. Everybody got issues, but he's a very loving person. He would never do nothing for harm none of us.
The child remains were then removed from the house by undertakers. This was an emotional time for family members and residents of the community. Junan Payne, a neighbor, said she heard a loud explosion, and when she ventured outside, she saw the wires on fire.
And when I ran out, the wires had fire. And then there's an AC unit here for the house that got burned. It was on fire and it shoot out. But it has been a while that we have been complaining about this electrical issue. I've made several complaints to GPL. And I even did a rearrangement recently with this pole and the other pole just to secure my home. It was very scary for me because today's my birthday and I don't know, it's just God saved my house. It may be, yes. Because it was sparking and I have some footage as well.
The upper flat of the building is rented. Melissa Allicock and her two cousins, their spouses, were also there with them. 18-year-old Allicock said she only had time to pick up her son from the bed and run from the burning building.
All right, this morning I get up and my child father went to bed, right? And he come and touch me, say, Lisi, carry the man out there. I just grab my son and I just run out. When we come down, I see the landlord right by the gate. He shout nobody, he run in feature and nobody. And this all I could have picture happy man. Everything gone for me son, everything. Me got nothing near this, so nothing me got.
21-year-old Rachel Hayes, another tenant in the top flat, said the fire started at the bottom flat of the property, which is owned by relatives of Richards.
It's like it looked like it started from the kitchen area because there's how far after we come outside, like you hear like a some electrical thing like it just go pow. But before smoke did coming up. So I was about to press right when them boys come and call we and say come out to the house, and all we could do is come out to the house because the smoke started so fast that we couldn't even do anything.
Some residents said the fire department was not prompt to the scene.
Weren't that prompt, but they did arrive, and I have to thank Minister Ben because I was so scared and crying that he did come, his intervention, and they actually soaked the house repeatedly and so on. Because even when they came, there was no water, something like that. I think they had water and the water ran out. They were taking water from the gutter out there.
Divisional Fire Officer Clive McDonald said when the fire service arrived on the scene, heavy smoke and fire were noticed in the building.
And the crews, if you notice, the place is heavily grilled. So we use our cutting in devices, try very hard to get into the building because persons we were in front persons trap. So our first and foremost objective was to save the person. We forms of security of persons grill in place. It's within their certain rights and all of that, but we will advise and inform persons of, especially dwellings, about heavily grilling. You must have an evacuation plan to get out in case of an emergency. So we are doing our fire prevention in terms of fire prevention. So we're working on that, informing ranks about it.
The area was cordoned off by the police who conducted their investigation into the matter. The origin of the fire is now the subject of an investigation by the Guyana Fire Service.
Drink and taste, you will never decline. Extra lemon and lime, it's the two combined. It's one of a kind. Extra lemon and lime, extra lemon and lime. Taste the citrus in every sip.
Extra presents Creek Swag 2023 live on stage. Trinidad and Tobago, Lady Lava.
Yeah, we don't know it's Lady Lava, Queen of the Freak, and I will be live in Guyana on the 2nd of July. Aziza, Kusta, Linden Highway, I'll come out and represent.
Lady Lava.
You have a girl well I like him more. You have a girl well I like him more.
Granny.
No more swag, stop this. Don't let me give you some bumper.
Granny.
Miss Creepy. Miss Creepy. Miss Creepy. Miss Creepy.
On Sunday, July 2nd
At Aziza Kuza Creek.
Early bird tickets $1,500 while stocks last. Ticket location: White Castle Fish Shop, Just Your Size Boutique, Orange Walk, Fireside Grill, Highway Cafe, Suicide Junction.
At Extra Beer, Stabic Market location.
Compliments of Fireside Grill and extra energy drink.
This is Anshul. I'm the manager over here at Brooklyn Institute of Vocational Training. We provide home health aid training here. For that, we have flexible classes, which includes morning, evening, and the weekend class. You can choose any class, whichever is convenient for you. Also, this career is now at the peak. This career pay rate increases from 1909 till up to 2109 now. I speak different languages, which includes Hindi, Punjabi, Urdu, Bangla, and our certificate is recognized all over the New York because we are licensed from Board of Education. Once you graduated from our school, you can work with any agency anywhere in New York. Our address is 110-05 Liberty Avenue, Queens. Guys, I know the name is Brooklyn Institute, but we are located in Queens. I repeat the address, 110-05 Liberty Avenue, Queens. 11419 is our zip code, and my number is 929-386-0092. If you have any questions, you can always call me, and I will be happy to answer all your questions. Don't forget to check our website, www.mybrooklyninstitute.com. Come join our school and get home health aid certificate, as we like to believe changing lives one student at a time.
Demonstrations continued in the city today over the alleged rape of a 16-year-old schoolgirl by senior local government and regional development minister Nigel Darmlal. The group gathered in front of the United States Embassy where they said that they were looking forward to hearing from the embassy and the ambassador on the issue.
I am saying that this is a moral issue. This is an issue concerning a child of this country, an indigenous child, a vulnerable child, who is alleged, she's alleging that a sitting minister of this government raped and sodomized her. And for the ambassador and the U.S. Embassy to be quiet, to be silent when they were so involved, according to the PPP government, in the national elections of this country, it is saying to me that maybe the embassy is picking and choosing what it should be involved with in Guyana. But this is beyond politics. This is fighting for the human dignity of a child. A child who is alleged to have been raped. The allegation is detailed. I am quite sure officials of the U.S. Embassy read that. Guyanese people are saying, we need to hear from you. What is your position?
I'm saying based on the law, this child, and I've asked before for an investigation of child trafficking, because the law speaks, and even in the amendment of the 2023 Combating Trafficking Persons Act speaks to the transporting of a child or a person for sexual exploitation. And I'm saying that this matter should be looked at as in its whole, not just to deal with rape, but I'm asking that human trafficking, in this case child trafficking, be examined.
Over the past 2 weeks or more, the United States, they have remained extremely silent on a critical matter of this nature. You know the UN is big on the rights of the child and rights of children. And to know that they're resident here and know exactly what is happening and have not said anything is quite disturbing to me.
From there, the group journeyed to the Ministry of Human Services, where they demanded that the child gets the legal representation she has requested.
Just like the accused, she needs a lawyer. Just like the accused, she needs a lawyer. Just like the accused, she needs a lawyer. She is not a prisoner. She is not a prisoner. She is not a prisoner.
The teenager is in the care of the state, and the request has so far not been granted. The rape allegation was made by a 16-year-old indigenous girl. The police's file into the allegation was completed and sent to the Director of Public Prosecutions for legal advice. However, the DPP Chambers returned the file requesting that further investigation be done.
On the Guyanese or the Trinidadians and Jamaican, we also
Running late and can't wait to gate? We got you. The Guyana Public Service Cooperative Credit Union Limited has introduced a fast and easier way to make payments to your account through the GT&T mobile money services. Here's how. Click on the MMG app. Under Services, select Pay Bills.
We went to South Asian,
when you are there,
Filipino,
look for the Financial Institution option.
We speak several
Once
other
that is
languages.
done, select Guyana Public Service Cooperative Credit Union Limited to pay your loan or make payments to your savings. Payments to the credit union made easier. GPS ECU, the credit union you can bank
I
on.
try to create a company where any
Washi. Hi people. Washing made so easy since I found Washi. Washing me use wash me clothes and I can say wash it soap powder, wash clothes so nice. Wash it soap powder, leave your clothes color bright. Wash it soap powder, leave me clothes smelling nice, of course. So give thanks for wash it soap powder. For doing my laundry right. Keep my clothes color bright. Have my clothes smelling nice for sure. I could not ask for more. Comes in lemon and original.
I'm gonna get paid tomorrow. I don't.
It is a washing machine in a pack. Wash it soap powder, wash clothes so nice. Wash it soap powder, leave your clothes color bright. Wash it soap powder, have my clothes smelling nice, of course.
Distributors located in the Stabrook Market.
U.S. Secretary of State Antony Blinken will travel to Port of Spain, Trinidad and Tobago, and Georgetown, Guyana on July 5th and 6th, 2023. According to a statement from the U.S. Embassy, Secretary Blinken will participate in the Caribbean Community Heads of Government meeting and 50th anniversary of CARICOM celebration. Building on Vice President Harris' historic June 8th visit to the Bahamas, where she co-hosted the U.S. Caribbean Leaders meeting, Secretary Blinken will engage on pressing issues in the region with the represented heads of governments, including Trinidad and Tobago Prime Minister Dr. Keith Rowley and incoming CARICOM Chair and Dominica Prime Minister Roosevelt Skerritt. On June 6, Secretary Blinken will travel to Georgetown, Guyana to meet with President Dr. Mohamed Irfan Ali, Foreign Affairs Minister Hugh Todd, and key members of Cabinet to discuss priority bilateral issues including food and energy security and decarbonization, climate resilience, regional migration, and building local capacity. For these and other stories, do visit us at our website www.rdproductiongy.com.